When Aegon turned his sights onto Westeros, the land was divided into 7 kingdoms that had barely any time for peace. In the north, the Starks of Winterfell were rulers. Down south were the Dornish Sands, where the Martell princes held sway. The Lannisters were rulers of the Westerlands that were rich with gold. The fertile Reach was ruled by House Gardener of Highgarden. The mountainous Vale belonged to House Arryn, and the always troubled Stormlands was ruled by House Durrandon. And it was the conflict in this little piece of land in the middle, called the Crowlands, that drew Aegon into the muddy politics of Westeros. The ruler of Stormlands, King Argilac of House Durrandon, has been losing power over centuries. From the west, the kings of the Reach often occupied territory unchallenged. The Dornishmen raided from the south, and the up-and-coming Harren the Black, along with his grandsire, have taken control over the Riverlands from the Stormlords. King Argilac reached out to Aegon asking for help in return for his daughter's hand and, most importantly, lands east of God's Eye, from the Trident to the Blackwater Rush. Looking at the map, this includes the gigantic castle of Harrenhal that took 40 years to build and was the conception of the ruthless Harren the Black, the current challenger of the Stormlords. While Aegon was not interested in taking another wife, he was certainly interested in land. Sensing the desperation of King Argilac and an opportunity to establish his house on mainland, Aegon asked for additional coastal land near Blackwater Bay, namely Macy's Hook and the forest north of Windwater River. And the pact would be sealed by marrying King Argilac's daughter to Orys Baratheon, who was Aegon's childhood friend and champion. To this last part though, King Argilac angrily refused. The suggestion enraged him to a point that he cut off the hands of Aegon's messengers and returned them in a box with the message that these would be the only hands that Orys Baratheon would receive. Now, this reaction didn't bother Aegon too much, but what it did show him was how blindly proud the lords of Westeros were at the time when they had little power. This was the true opportunity for Aegon. He summoned the little friends he had, his old allies, the Valyrians, and a few more sworn lords from nearby islands and inland. Along with his sisters, Aegon put together their plan and prepared some 3,000 men for what was to become the greatest conquest in history.